In the spring of 1858, word of the strange events at Lourdes spread through every village of the foothills, and one of the people listening was a teenage boy named Henri Busquet. Henri lived in Nye, a small town about 12 miles from Lourdes, close enough that stories traveled quickly, but far enough that he probably never met Bernadette. Still, like so many people in the Pyrenees, he believed, and he believed because he needed to. For more than a year and a half, Henri had been fighting a devastating illness, a deep tuberculosis infection that crawled through the lymph nodes in his neck, leaving behind a painful open ulcer that refused to heal. The ulcer at his neck would have caused constant pain and pressure, making rest difficult, and even ordinary movements painful, limiting how he could lie or move. It is highly likely that some nights he slept sitting up because lying flat made the pressure unbearable. When he heard about the spring appearing at Grotto, Henri asked to be taken to Lourdes, but his parents, already terrified of losing him, refused. The journey was long, the roads were rough, and his condition far too fragile. And yet help came anyway. A neighbor from Nye was making a pilgrimage to Lourdes and promised to bring back a small bottle of water for Henri. On the evening of April 28, 1858, while his family prayed beside him, Henri soaked a cloth in Lourdes water and placed it over the ulcer at the base of his neck. By morning, the ulcer had closed. The swelling had vanished. The infection, after more than 15 months, was simply gone. Professor Vergey, a physician who examined him, concluded that Henri's sudden recovery was beyond the laws of nature. 4 years later, Henri's cure was one of the miracles formally approved by Bishop Laurence in 1862, listed amongst the earliest signs that something extraordinary had taken place at Massabielle, the actual name of the grotto. And then Henri disappears from the record. Like so many who were healed at Lourdes, he slipped quietly back into ordinary life. No mentions, no memoirs, no monuments, no public celebration. Because in the 19th century, miracles were not the beginning of fame. They were the beginning of gratitude. People went home, raised their families, lived quietly, and let the miracle belong not to them, but to God.